We'll give it another minute. I just noticed that some people were still getting their audio going, and so we'll give it another minute before we start. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. It's our final day of the hackathon. I'm so excited. My name is Amy House. I'm your host for the weekend. I'd like to say welcome to everybody. A special welcome to the Mount Pearl counselors who've been able to attend today. I know that Councillor Jim Locke is here, and forgive me, I don't see everybody, so I don't know who all is here. I'm sure there are others. So thank you for your work, and thank you for being so forward thinking to allow this hackathon to happen in the name of Mount Pearl. That's so fantastic. I'm so excited to see what the teams have come up with. We're looking forward to hearing all about the amazing solutions teams have come up with. And so we'll move quickly through some of the opening notes and get right to the presentation. So just a reminder and some encouragement to please consider sharing any posts and pictures on social media with #HackingMP. If you have any trouble with your presentation, let us know in Slack. You'll see there the privacy statement. This session today is being recorded, so please take a few seconds to read it over. Okay, we're streaming live on YouTube today. If anybody wants to watch presentations, they can head on over to the City of Mount Pearl YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us to see the great projects that teams have hacked together during the weekend. Remember now that everyone here is a winner. You've all created something special this weekend that could be the foundation of something even bigger. So give yourselves a virtual round of applause. Once again, I'd like to thank our sponsors and partners, Genesis, Bounce Health Innovation, TechNL, Memorial University's Center for Entrepreneurship, Colab Software, Total IQ, Rogue Penguin Creative, Target, the Mount Pearl Paradise Chamber of Commerce, and Business and the Arts NL. Thank you to our mentors, our judges, the city staff who have worked tirelessly to make this weekend happen. Thank you to our keynote speaker, so inspiring, Adam Keating, for giving your time this weekend. Give them all a round of applause, and thank you so much. So here's how the presentations will work. Teams will present by sharing their screen. A 3-minute presentation demonstration is followed by approximately 2 minutes of Q&A. Only judges will be allowed to ask questions. We strongly encourage teams to keep their camera on while presenting. Teams will be cut off at the 3-minute mark. It is the team's responsibility to track your own time and use it wisely. When one team is answering the judges' questions, the next team should be preparing to share their screen and be ready to present. After demos, our judges will deliberate and pick some winners so we can start to hand out some prizes. So we're going to introduce our judges now. If you don't mind, can you all, just because you know who you are, kindly turn your cameras on so we can easily highlight you. Dan Brake from TechNL is here. Hi, Dan. Jeremy Schwartz from the City of Mount Pearl. Doug Kennedy from Genesis. And June Tavener from the Mount Pearl Paradise Chamber of Commerce. Hi, judges. Thanks so much for being here today and giving up this beautiful Sunday afternoon. So let's hear what the prizes will be now. So all 3 prizes will include 1 seat in the Genesis Center Evolution Program and a free membership in TechNL, as well as 1 free membership in the Mount Pearl Paradise Chamber of Commerce. So besides all those wonderful gifts, the first place team will receive $3,000 cash. The second place team will receive $1,500 cash. And the third place team will receive $500 cash. So now I'm about to call upon the first team to do their presentation. After the first team presents, we'll give the judges an opportunity to ask a couple of questions, and then we'll move on to the next team. We have 11 teams in total today, so let's get started. Our first team is Solvit.
Hello, everyone. Can you all hear me? Okay, let me share my screen. Oh. And can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Thank you for the confirmation. Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Deepesh Maharjan, representing Team Solvit. We are a team of 2 members, me, myself, and Manju Thapa. The idea that we're presenting you today, it's called Pick It Up. So without further ado, let me jump into my next slide, which will explain the problem statement that we're dealing with and how Pick It Up fits into the frame. So the COVID-19 pandemic has been the most tragic thing that we've ever witnessed in our lifetime. And as tragic as it is, it has been equally devastating to the businesses, big or small, all over the world, especially for the local businesses. The local businesses are having to cut their hours because of the public health measures, resulting in loss of sales revenue. And while most of the large businesses have not been as impacted by these closures, for the small businesses, this has been very detrimental. Most of the local businesses cannot keep up with the cost and the manpower that is needed to maintain an online platform. Another sector that has been equally impacted by this pandemic is the delivery companies. So the layoffs and the reduced number of hours have significantly slowed down the online delivery, with an average delivery time of, say, 3 days, even for the expedited deliveries. And the final sector, which is the most important one, is the market. So people these days are reluctant to go for in-person shopping. They would much rather prefer staying at home and buying things online, despite of the long delivery times. There are apps like Skip the Dishes, DoorDash, and HelloFresh, which have been very popular during the pandemic. But these existing apps target the food industries and the restaurant businesses. And there's a number of businesses which have not been incorporated into these apps yet. And that's where our solution, Pick It Up, comes in play. So Pick It Up is a one-stop online platform for all shops locally that employs locals for quickly delivering goods to your doorstep. So to talk about the business architecture, or the platform architecture, there's going to be 3 major participants in this. One is the businesses, customers, and the delivery person. So businesses are going to list their products and advertise the businesses in the platform. and there's going to be added sales and the stream of revenue for the businesses, while they can also take out their need to rely on the delivery companies for fulfilling their orders. For the customers, they can shop local, and the most important, they can shop online. There's going to be faster delivery of the products, quicker than Amazon Prime, perhaps. And for the delivery person, which will be the local person involved in bringing the goods from the businesses to your doorstep, there will be extra income.
That's time, I'm afraid.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was quick.
3 minutes goes very fast.
It did. So yeah, this was the project execution plan, and the management team or the execution team that I had thought about. And yeah, it was almost near the end of the slide. So any questions from the judges? I'm ready for it.
Yeah, Depeche, it's Jeremy here from the city of Mount Pearl. Maybe you can walk us through, I mean, you did run out of time. Maybe give us an example of how the software works.
Okay, so that's the thing. While I was running into the last slides of the presentation, it gives us an overview of what is or who is in the team right now. So right now, we do not have a development team already with us. So that's something that was going to be the part of the last part of the presentation. So I do not have an online demonstration of the platform, but it mostly presents the idea that I'm trying to convey. And if this idea is successful, or say if there's potential in this idea, then the development team can be the next hire or the next project team for us.
And in order to deliver your service, where do you intend to, how are you delivering, sorry, where are your delivery drivers and everything coming from in terms of your application?
Okay, so I was going to share you an interesting story of, who would be the delivery driver. For example, if I go to the mall, 90% of the time I go to the mall because my wife goes to the mall. And 50% of that 90% is I am not doing anything but following my wife wherever she goes. So say if there's an app that allows me to utilize that 50% of my 90% of the time, then I could be doing other shopping stuff, grabbing stuff from different stores in the mall. And then my wife could be doing her part of the shopping. And by the end of the day, I'll be making back the money and the gas, or at least the food that we buy. That was the plan. So to answer your question, Dan, it's going to be the local people who are willing to involve or who are willing to invest their extra time or the time that they're not utilizing properly. So, for example, there can be another part of this integration where if someone wants to bring something from Gander to St. John's, instead of paying Canada Post, they can simply advertise that in the website or in the platform. And then someone who is traveling the same road can pick up that order and then bring the goods and get the delivery. Cost of the delivery would be paid to that person instead of Canada Post. And then it attacks the points such as there's long waiting time for the delivery despite of the expedited services from the delivery companies, and it mostly utilizes the time of the local people, as me.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Depeche. Are there any other questions from the judges? That was fantastic. Thank you so much, Depeche and Solvit. I love that you won't have to follow your wife around the mall anymore. It's my favorite thing.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
Okay, congratulations on your presentation.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, I think we're going to move on to our next team, which is syntax error.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Great,
Yeah.
thank you. So I'm Tahsin from the Syntax Error team, and my team continues. Let me actually share my presentation. Okay, so can you see the presentation?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Cool. So I'm Tahsin, and my team actually is consists of 5 people: me, Yusuf, Tanjid, Shaun, and Asif. So we were working actually. Our solution is specific to restaurants. So as you can see through the data, that it actually the pandemic has actually mostly impacted the small businesses. So we can see here the 1 to 4 employees has been the businesses with 1 to 4 employees has been affected by 42.4%, and the other one has been affected by 43.9%. So which is a huge percentage. So if we go, we can know that why they're actually being affected the most. So we can say like the small businesses like Big Bite Pizza, Curry Delight, and Acropolis Pizza based in Mount Pearl, they don't have the technology that will provide them why they are actually losing the customer. And they are actually losing the customer. They don't have that data either. However, if we talk about the big corporations, for example, McDonald's or let's say Tim Hortons, Starbucks, they can easily build an technology which can actually track that information and actually give them data, which they can rely on to basically retain their customer. So our solution is basically a rewards app, which will help the small local businesses to retain their customers. So our app basically provides the store managers or daily, weekly, or monthly sales report, statistical demonstration of customer feedback, visual illustration of best-selling products which are acquired from customers' feedback through our reward app. And our app also provides a competitive point system to the users who will basically be using the app to buy from the restaurants so that they can redeem those points in the partnered restaurants. And basically, if we go to our app, so this is kind of our app. So what happens is when you log into the app, each time you buy something, you will have a specific QR code for each user. So you can click here and you can scan your QR code. And if you close, then it will take you to a feedback. So the feedback hasn't been completed yet, but these are the way it works. So you will be able to show the feedback. And once you submit, then the store manager will be able to see. You can see the sales report and then the product feedback, which product has worked the most and which product has been sold the most. And the feedback progress, if it's increasing, if the product is increasing or decreasing the feedback, what's happening. And also we can show the data. Say this is the losing customers and this is the gaining customers. So through our app, you can see that you are actually losing most of the customers. And again, you are gaining some of the customers. So if you want, you can easily see a trend. From here, overall, it's decreasing. So what you can do is you can send probably a promotional discount or something from here, and every user who were actually a customer in your app, they will be able to get the discount from your store. For example, here you can see the rewards and they will be able to come back. Now the main question stands, how do you actually know that they're coming to your store and you are actually losing them? So what we're gonna do is actually every time they scan the app or the QR code, we know that that particular person has been coming to your store twice a week, or let's say thrice a week. So every 3 weeks, that person has been coming to your store, let's say 3 times a week. So if he doesn't come, let's say next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we know
That's
that
time.
he's coming back. Oh, sorry. So that's all actually, to be honest. And thank you for listening to us. Any questions? And that was basically our future plan, like what we will be doing later on the app, if it's a basically viable option and a great idea. Any questions?
We'll just give the judges a moment now to, there you go.
I just wanted to clarify. So, sorry, this is Doug from Genesis. I just wanted to clarify. So when a person goes to a restaurant, they basically rate their experience after? Is that what the...
Yeah.
It's a really good presentation, by the way, actually. It was a really good, quick and to the point presentation. So I credit you there. But I just want to know for the, just to go over the basic again. So they rate when they leave and then discounts will be sent based on the ratings, or?
No. So when you basically go to the store, you buy and you eat, and after that, you will give the feedback survey. You basically give the feedback later on after the purchase or after eating. So what happens is once you leave, if the feedback is, if you're not coming back or if the feedback is bad, the store manager can see that at that particular stuff, or at that particular burger or let's say pizza, the review has been bad pretty much from multiple customers. Then they can actually improve that particular product, as well as they can send the promo to the existing customers. So in that way, they can retain the existing customers as well as they can gain new customers as well by improving that particular product, as well as offering the discount to the existing customers. So yeah.
I got you. Okay, thanks.
No problem.
Jeremy here from the City of Mount Pearl. Great presentation. Just a quick question. So trying to understand where your revenue is coming from. So I guess it's a service fee that you would be charging businesses to participate in the program.
Yeah, so this is actually like one small application for all the small businesses. So for example, if you talk about McDonald's, they have their own app. If you talk about Tim Hortons, they have their own application, but nothing has been there for small businesses. So this is going to be one application for all the small businesses. So if you're a consumer, you will scan it for all partnered restaurants that are with us. So our revenue will basically be from selling the app to the restaurants and maintaining the app. So if we talk about from the point of the restaurant view, since I'm selling the same app to different restaurants, so the purchase price for the restaurants will be smaller, so they can afford it. And on the same side for me, since I'm selling it to multiple stores, I will have the amount to basically maintain the app, also like generate revenue from them.
Okay. I guess there are some existing rewards programs out there. What are some of the things you would do to distinguish yourselves from the other types of ones out there, and what are some of the things you would do to get the restaurants on board?
Yeah, definitely. So we have actually thought about this because there are, let's say right now, VR Miles, we can say that VR Miles is offering rewards points to the consumer. They are partnered with Circle K and Sobeys and whatnot, right? So the main solution or the main revolution here is that we're actually providing you with the feedback from the customers, as well as losing and gaining percentage of the customer. So as of right now, there is no app which is actually benefiting both the consumers as well as the restaurants. So in our case, the consumer who are actually using the app individually, they will be able to get the reward points, which they can use in every restaurant which are partnered with us. So not necessarily you buy from Big Bite Pita, you have to use your rewards to the Big Bite Pita. You can use it on Curry Delights as well. So in that way, the consumer can actually benefit, and the restaurant, what they can do is they are actually getting all the information: who is losing, what percentage of customer they are losing, what was the sales report, what was the feedback on particular item, also what was the number of sales for that particular item each day. So they can know all the information of their inventory as well as about their feedback in one application. So yeah, so it's kind of like a fusion of retention as well as feedback model. So rewards and feedback model together, kind of a fusion with more data, kind of, I'd say.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. That was a great question, to be honest. Yeah.
Thank you, Tassin. That was a great presentation.
Oh, thank you so much.
The judges said, quite succinct and to the point. Thank you very much, and good luck.
Thank you so much.
Okay, and our third team is HexDump.
Yeah, we're here.
Okay, we can hear you.
Am I able to share my screen? Yeah. Just give me a second.
Mhm.
Let me know if you can see that.
Yes.
All right, cool. Yeah, just let me know whenever you want me to start.
You can go ahead.
All right, so hey everyone, we're Team HexDump, and today we're pitching Shift. We believe there's a positive correlation between labor shortage and loss in revenue. So we've decided to focus on solving labor shortage to help businesses operate longer and thus help in increasing the revenue. Here's why this is a problem. We've noticed that labor shortage is significant not only in Newfoundland, but across the country. Businesses are not able to find the necessary talent to fill in their shortage gaps. It is also evident that workers are seeking new ways of employment that allows them to work wherever and whenever they want. That's why jobs like Uber driving are flourishing, because drivers are able to control their work hours and location. So we redefined our problem. How can we autonomously connect businesses with talent for dynamic one-time shifts to fill in the staff shortage gap? To introduce our solution, let's take the Bigs, for example. The Bigs is a busy place on weekends, and it appears that one of their full-time waiters will not show up for their shift on Saturday. Luckily for the Bigs managers, they found out about Shift. Shift is a cross-platform application that allows local businesses to post and promote urgent one-time shifts to be seen and selected by verified, talented local individuals. If we go on the Bigs landing page, they can add a posting, add a title, select a type, add a description, put in the hours, as well as the pay, and location, and the date of the posting. And just like that, we'll add a marker to the interface.
All right, now let's meet Mark. He's a full-time student and he's traveling to Newfoundland for a short-term visit to his family. He finds himself strapped for cash. He can find a job, but unfortunately, he doesn't really have a lot of time. And also, he does not want to get into a full-time contract where he's not really staying for long. He discovers a Shift. He applies for an account and he gets a background check, and now he's good to use it. So now he goes on the website and he finds the waiter position that suits his schedule. So he applies for it.
And just like that, if we go to the Biggs dashboard, they will find that Mark has requested to join their shift.
All right, now let's take a look at the revenue model. So first of all, we have the commission revenue model, which is basically whenever a transaction occurs on the website, we take a commission, a percentage of that. Second is a pay-per-use boost for the listings for the businesses. And last is a subscription model for targeted for businesses for various features that they can benefit from. So here's an example of a pricing list and how it would look like. Next up, there's definitely more to this project. So we highlighted the future work. First of all is creating a pipeline to automatically recruit and authenticate, basically do background checks on shifters, refine obviously job categories, and also look into legal requirements. Also, we look into launching and marketing the product. And last of all, we also look into reiterating the design of the entire project. And,
That's time, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's exactly when I'm done. Thank you for listening, and please go ahead and ask some questions.
Well timed.
Okay, we'll have a couple of questions from a couple of judges now.
Hi guys, this is June with Mount Pearl Paradise Chamber of Commerce. I love this idea, and actually a business that I run, this is something that I come across frequently. Have you niched down on which industries in particular that you would target with this, or do you feel that any service-based industry could benefit from this?
Yeah, so we have, as you can saw in our pricing list, we have like custom plans for different businesses. So we want to start off with like small local businesses. So things like restaurant, like one individual restaurants, shops, maybe like things like any small business that has one location. And then we look at a different pricing option for basically chain restaurants. So they can have one big account where they have more freedom in their postings, as well as more access to the shifters out there, or what we call them. So yeah, so it can definitely be scaled to larger businesses and corporations if need be.
That's a great idea.
Also,
thank you very much.
Yeah, and just to add up just a small point to that, and also the great thing we find about this is it's also scaled across different categories and different sectors when it comes to jobs. So in this case, we tackled maybe restaurants and maybe fast food, but then this can also be expanded to different things, say cashier at outfitters. Basically, it has very big possibilities where it can scale into other sectors. So yeah, thank you for the question. Any other questions?
How do you intend to attract your shifters, and what's your process for verifying and validating them?
So if you're familiar with Uber, like if you want to become an Uber driver, they have basically an autonomous portal where you can put in your legal documents. They approve it. They do your background check, and you're essentially an employer of Uber. We're trying to do the same thing. When you sign up with us, you're an employer of Shift. You're not an employer of the business itself. The business basically pays us. We take the cut, and then we pay you. And for us to attract the employers or the shifters, essentially, is that the freedom they have when like they can basically turn on the app whenever they want, wherever they want, right? So the thing with basically like you don't have a schedule like Monday, Tuesday, Friday to go to work, is that, oh, when you're down on cash and you want to try something new, you go in, you find that something new that you want to try, you're skilled and qualified for it, you apply for it, you get accepted, and then you go there. Right. And as the example we gave with Mark, he just like traveled for a couple of months to a different city. He doesn't have a job in that city, but he needs cash. if he wants to apply for a job, he has to go through a contract, go through a schedule, and it'll take time. But if he's already signed with us, he can just go in, apply for one of them. And then because we're authenticated him and he has a profile, he can go right ahead to the job and get paid.
Is there,
Awesome, thanks.
is there similar platforms than this? To this?
Not that we found. We spoke with one mentor, and he said that back in his day, they had something similar in his university where he would go sign up like on paper, and they would try to place him for like a one-time job, and he gets paid through the university. But there's nothing that's like that we found that's like autonomous in the sense of like it's fully online, fully autonomous, and that's what we're trying to do at least.
And whenever I would try to do something like this, get a job for a short amount of time, I would just try to go maybe on Facebook Marketplace, Kijiji, look for wanted posts, people wanting to
I've personally done
hire
that.
for basically. Yeah, I've done it too. So the whole idea is get all these different listings from all these different websites and put them under one single website where everybody can just go in, see a variety of jobs, pick whatever you want under whatever pay you want. That's the vision we have.
Centralized platform, essentially, yeah.
Basically.
Wow.
Yeah, great job. Great idea.
Thank you.
guys.
Good presentation.
Thank you, judges, and thank you, Mohammed and Hazem. Great presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And now we will move on to Kalki. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm not, just you can correct me. But
Absolutely. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Yeah. So shall we begin with our presentation?
Yes, I think we're good to go.
Yeah, ready to go.
All right, I'll share my screen here. Okay, so we are presenting on behalf of Team Kalki. My name is Rashi here, and I will be presenting with my partner Vivek. And we are here with online reservation system for the restaurants. So due to COVID, we have realized that there have been many messing up with the restaurant tables, and people are not able to find their best tables, or people are not able to book their reservations because due to COVID, the restaurants have reduced the capacity to 50% or 70%. So restaurants have to keep their tables, some of the tables closed, and people are not aware about the tables or availability of the restaurant. So it would be easier for them if they could check that online and if they could book the reservations instead of having the phone call with the restaurants, and some of them don't process with the phone calls better. So it would be easier for them to book the reservations online through their application or through the website that the restaurant has on there. So due to the dissatisfaction of the customers for not getting reservations, for not getting seats or tables in the restaurants have been losing the customers, and they have been getting not better feedbacks, you can say, and they have been facing the poor table management for that. So as a result, restaurants have been experiencing some revenue losses in the businesses and customer dissatisfaction. The existing market that we have right now in the Mount Pearl, since we have gone through several restaurant services, we have observed that the restaurant does not have many online reservation system. Though they have online delivery, but they don't have the online reservation system. So our solution is to provide online reservation system with proper table management and the floor plan of the restaurant, and integration of the system with the existing application of the restaurant. So I'll show you the present demonstration for this. This is going to be a user page where the user can add a table. The restaurant owner can add a table with capacity of a high table with several capacities. He can remove the table, and he can here add several floors to the restaurant, whether it is like 1 floor, 2 floor restaurant. Also for the customer, he can view the floor plan of the restaurant, and he can click on the table that he wishes to click on that. And when he clicks on the table, he'll be provided with the form, and with the form, he can enter his details. And when he confirms his reservation on that, his reservation will be confirmed. This way, the restaurant owner will also be able to manage the reservations online, and he will be clear to get those reservations with the timings and the dates, like proper management of the table reservation. And we have come up with a solution because it would be easily adapted by the existing restaurants. And since we have talked to one restaurant which is called Boston Pizza, and we have observed that they have been facing major reservation problems due to COVID restrictions. And this is what we have come up with a solution, that this could be a help to them, so that for efficient management of the restaurants and efficient management of the customer satisfaction and their reviews for that.
That's time.
Yeah, and we end up our presentation over here. Any questions from you, judges, please?
Jeremy here from the city. Great presentation. Just trying to understand what differentiates you from the other booking systems. So is it where you can choose your own table as a customer?
Yes, the customer can choose their own tables. As presented in the demonstration, there are various open tables, closed tables, and the available tables. Open tables are the ones that are being open for the customers, and closed are the ones that have been closed due to the restrictions or the social distancing in the restaurant in the floor plans. So we have given them several options, and they can have their own choices to book the available tables for that. This is where we stand out from the existing platforms.
Yes.
Thanks.
Any other question from the judges, please?
Yeah, I was just wondering, you mentioned you talked to a restaurant. What restaurant?
Boston Pizza.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we have been observing, so they all say that they have been taking reservations over a call, which is not always possible, because on the call, you cannot match the exact information of the customer, right? Yeah. So if the customer could book the reservation by himself, it would be easier for them to go to the restaurant and manage the reservations and the tables, So we have talked to them for the survey. We have got in touch with them to know what are the problems they've been facing through and what are the solutions they are looking forward to come with. So we have designed the system on basis of their requirements, somewhat similar. Yeah.
Thanks.
No problem.
Any other questions from the judges? Okay, thank you so much, Vivek and Rashi.
Thank you.
I love the idea because I like to book a table by the window, and if they don't have a table by the window,
so the floor plan, the floor plan that we have shown for the customer, it includes all the details of the tables, which is like if it's by the window, if it's near the entrance, or if it's on the bar top, so that the customer can book the tables of their own choice, whether it is a booth or a lounge.
Thank you so much. Great presentation. Congratulations.
You're welcome. Thank you. See you.
Okay. And we're going to move on to the next team. This is also very interesting and exciting. So our next team is Recovidery.
Hi, everyone. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
We're good. Yep. So we're excited to share our presentation with you. Just give us a second. We'll share the screen.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Let us know when you can see our screen. Yeah.
Yes, we can see it.
We can see.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Hi.
All right. We'll start now.
So our team is Recovery. My name is Mokshda, and this is my teammate here. The problem we chose to tackle today is revenue losses for small local businesses, because they're the ones affected the most from the pandemic. And our solution is a website called Recovery that assists local businesses who wish to attract more customers by gamifying sustainability and giving out gift cards, while also creating a tighter community. Our competitions are Hike, Niche, and Local Flavor. These are all apps that support local businesses as well. And 3 out of the 4, as you can see, they also build a tighter community, but not all of them have sustainability as a business priority. We will be starting in a small area as a pilot project, for example, Rabbit Town in St. John's, and we will be expanding to cover the city over time, and we'll also expand to cover the whole province and maybe other provinces down the line. So as you can see, it is very scalable. To get started, we will need a seed funding, hopefully scale tax programs, municipalities, government grants for sustainability projects, and in the long run, we will also be getting income from the businesses that we help. We do have a website with fundamental information and functionalities ready. We have learned that Recovery will absolutely help revive a lot of small businesses. And yes, there is interest in our product. And this is our team. I'm Mokshda, this is Yahya. And our future, we will be scaling up to cover cities, as I mentioned, and other provinces as well once we gain some stability. The businesses that we help will have a way to see the number of customers brought to them through our website, and we will be working with them to come to an agreement of payment once they reach a certain number. What we're asking is mentorship on startup businesses and sustainability programs, seed funding to get started, and marketing our product as much as possible. And now for the live demo.
Yep, so we have a website, and this is basically how it works. So this is just like a landing page, and if you can choose if you're a local business owner or a customer, and then we just have like a very short about us and our values: local business recovery, sustainability, and tight-knit community. And then we also have how it works. So how can you gain, like as a local business owner, you gain more customers basically while improving your venture sustainability. So you complete goals and you get rewards as gift cards. But completing the goals is optional. So you can still have people come in and be on our website without doing that. But this is it's much better to do sustainability acts. And then you can also explore local businesses never before as a local customer. So as a business owner, you have the life challenges, and then you have the challenges in progress that you're doing. So these are for the entire city, and this is what you're doing. And this is the challenges that you want. And as a customer, we're still gonna implement. We're just saying we're waiting on our local businesses to sign up. So please check back soon. And at the same time, for rewards, even though it's still not implemented, it will be on the form of gift cards for the business itself so that they can give it back to the community. And once they reach a target that we agree upon when we write a contract with them, then we will ask for either a small percentage or a fixed fee. That's how
That's time.
Yep. Thank you.
We'll have some questions from the judges now.
I like the idea, Dan here from TechNL. I like the idea of the challenges for the businesses. Can you go into what's the, can you describe it a bit more?
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. Do you want to describe it?
So we have some ideas for now. Can you scroll to the challenges?
Yep.
Yeah, so for example, I was thinking we can talk about composting. So it could be any metric really, depending on the challenge. So how many compost bags have you filled in this week or even as a month? Or it can be the percentage of waste gone into composting. Another thing is invest in a fair trade product. So for example, I've worked at Wendy's and I know that there's lots of produce that we buy. So it is better if we buy them from fair trade products. And another example is Energy Star. So if you were to buy a new appliance, for example, a fridge has broken down, so it will be better to get it for an ethical energy sourced appliance. And another idea is create and encourage a carpooling for your employees, reducing carbon footprint, less people, less employees coming in, taking their cars every day, create a carpool system, encourage them, sign up sheets. So yeah, these not super hard to implement, but also making an impact.
The idea is the challenges should work technically for any business. It shouldn't really be a local business that's on a big scale. It shouldn't have an unfair advantage over a small local business just starting.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks.
No worries.
Do we have another question from the judges?
Yeah, Jeremy here. I'm just trying to understand the governance of how this works. So would you guys be putting out the challenges, or would you have businesses as customers who would be putting out challenges and they would provide rewards? How would that work?
So basically the way it would work is in the long run, what we hope to have is some sort of a sustainability expert or a team basically. And then they would be the ones that are assessing the sustainability of small businesses here and figuring out talking to them, interviewing them, seeing their needs. Because what we're doing is actually the businesses are already doing, each business would have sustainability goals that they wish to complete. But what we are trying to do is we want to give them money actually for completing these goals. Yeah, encouraging them basically. And then this way, they will have some sort of a top 3 business spotlight, because at the end of the day, it is a competitive platform. So if your business completes the most tasks within a week or a month, for example, then you will be featured and then more customers will visit you. But even if you don't do as well in the sustainability area, you're still featured on the website. And one thing we forgot to mention is that customers are actually like also competing. So me and you and anyone like who love local shopping, we'll basically like try to local shop as the much as we can, like in a week or a month. So in that way, like we will also get gift cards. So it's a two-way street. Yeah, a leadership board. Like we literally say, if you're bonus points if you're competitive, basically. Yeah.
I just had a quick question. This is Doug with Genesis. So it's a really, really good plan. The only question I have is the money that goes towards the rewards. How would you generate money to give out the awards? And then how would the company in fact generate revenue for itself?
Yeah.
So to start, we were hoping to get a seed funding just to start out. And then once the business is out there and people can see that we are helping them help themselves, attract more customers. In the app, in the website, sorry, you will see a customer when they go to a local business, they will click a checkbox. And then me as a business owner, I would see how many customers have come to my shop this week through this website. So they will know like tangibly, numerically how much we have helped them. And then, like I mentioned, we will have an agreement that we will have like with the business. So for example, if we help you increase your customer base by 10% over the last 3 months, you will give us, we haven't really decided like what percentage yet, but like that will just be
it depends on the
a discussion
needs,
that we'll have like between us and the business. Even it could be a fixed amount or just a percentage really. And
Okay.
of course, that's something we can like think about more.
Okay, I think that's it from the judges. Thank you, Yahya. Yahya, is
so much.
that correct? And
Thank you so much.
this is
That's correct.
fantastic. Sustainability is definitely top of mind for everyone these days, and there's some great ideas in there. So thank you so much for your work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And our next team is Accountaholics.
Hey, you guys can see me?
Pretty close. Yes. Daniel?
Yep. Share my screen now.
Yep. Josh.
Okay. So we're the Accountaholics. We're presenting our solution to labor shortage issues. Now, businesses have been suffering from post-pandemic recovery, and one of the major issues they are facing is labor shortages. Now, just last month, Newfoundland's average unemployment rate was more than double the national average unemployment rate. There are lots of individuals without employment, and yet not enough employees to cover work. So we had to reform the problem and ask the question: how do we solve this prevalent disconnect? How do we connect job seekers to job opportunities that are most relevant to them? This gave birth to our idea, Jobzilla. Now it's an AI platform that connects employers with employees that are matched based on set of preferences. So every employer is matched with only employees and that are fit for their job based on the preferences that they have put. Think about it as a Tinder for jobs. Now I shall show you how it works in the next demo now. So here we have a person, we put in their email, sign up for the new account. So they then go to their settings and they put in their information, then they put in their resume and the preferences they want, the type of salary, the type of job, part-time, full-time, remote, distance, and then they save it. They go home and then they only see jobs that are applicable to them. They either swipe right to apply or swipe left to reject, and then it connects them with the job. The next step would be to do an interview.
The future job app function that we intend to add once we garner sufficient base to further solve the market issue is an effective fractional workspace where employers can fill shifts as needed, such as sick calls and short staff, and people can seek supplemental income. So here is an example of what the fractional work page would look like. So the employer would post the shift that they want covered. So for example, the server job at Sun Sushi, and they'll put in the shift and the date in which it'll take place, and then the job seeker can simply just apply. So the total available market in Newfoundland specifically is in the top row. And then in the Avalon Peninsula, you can see in the middle row in the serviceable available market, and the serviceable obtainable market is 10% of that. And based on a competitive analysis, we determined that Indeed, Career Beacon, and LinkedIn would be the top 3 competitors that we are facing.
So we will differentiate ourselves from our competitors through our main value propositions. So it'll be an algorithm-based matching, which will help both employers and employees effectively connect conveniently and time-savingly. As well, the fractional service will allow employers to get people to fill their shifts when they're in a jam. And now for our revenue, employers can pay for the top ad space on the app, as well as regular Google Ad services. As well, there'll be a freemium subscription model, so employers can pay for market data that we collect. As well, the fractional work function.
That's time.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. We'll have some questions from the judges now. Do we have questions for Daniel, Josh, and Ben?
Hi guys, this is June. Just to be clear, this would be for shift coverage as well as long-term work potentially?
Yes. The initial bid would be the tender for the job would be mostly focused at full-time jobs. And then there's also the fractional job, which is what we got here. So there's another feature. It's for just fractional work. Say you're looking for a 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. shift on Monday, you're available for that. You click, you get connected with that employer.
And the employer will be able to view your profile based on what you created for also long-term employment options as well. And then they can accept or deny, essentially.
So do you want to just explain a little bit more? You were going into how your revenue stream was going to work. So was it going to be a service base?
Yeah, so for the fractional side, where you're just picking up shift work, that'll be a subscription-based model for the employer, where they'll pay certain levels for how many postings they'll post a month. And then for the other options, for the other side of the app, they'll be able to pay for the top ad space, and then we'll also have regular ads throughout.
Also the freemium subscription, where employers can post regularly for free, but for more detailed information, say insights to market, what candidates are looking for, how much competition is playing, market insight like that, they will charge an extra fee for information like.
You've got some big competitors. How are you going to displace them and really stand out from the pack?
Well, there's like a twofold reasons essentially as to how like our algorithm-based matchmaking which is essentially like a Tinder function where you swipe right and left. I think, and it also like basically filters out all the irrelevant jobs and filters it relevant to your profile that you created when you first create your profile. So like usually you'll have to like scan through a bunch of jobs and like you'll have relevant jobs that are there as well. And secondly, our fractional work, like none of like Indeed, LinkedIn, Career Beacon, none of those have the fractional work option where you can just, employer can post the shift that they need covered, whether it's a sick call. This is like a prevalent issue in Mount Pearl, St. John's, Newfoundland, specifically, like having short staff, having to cut hours. And we think like this will be an easy way for them to cover those shifts because people are looking to supplement their income, whether it's like through like just the odd second shift, they don't want to have a full second job, they want to craft their own schedule completely, or if they just simply want to like build on their resume.
Great, thanks.
Are there any more questions from the judges there?
I have a specific question to the swipe feature that you're describing. Similar to Tinder, would you see repeat of the same potential candidates, for example? Because if they weren't suitable necessarily for that one shift, it might be something that's suitable on a shift next week, for example.
So to clarify what it is, when you sign up for it and you apply, this is different from the fractional work one. This fractional work one is just the shift. Now this is where we're talking actual jobs. So when you put your profile, you put your preferences based on your location, your salary range, and all that. You only see the job postings that you are fit for. So if you say no, you don't want it, that's it. The algorithm clears that from you. So you only see potential ones that that is relevant for you. So similar to Tinder, you're not going to see it again unless you reset your account. You delete it and start from the scratch and say, yeah, I'll erase my data. I want to start from the top again.
Yeah, sure. But as the employer, it might be that one individual candidate might not be suitable right now, but it could be that they'd be suitable again in the future. So would that have that refresh option to see ones that you had previously swiped left on?
If you swipe left on it, it's gone. But here's the thing. Then the freemium model comes in now, where you can you can basically get information of, okay, where my previous swipes that I lost before, here's how I can contact them now, say, because their resume is posted and maybe they were not fit before, but now they're fit and I have access to this information.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you. So that's great. We'll wrap up that presentation here now, and I believe we're gonna take a couple of minutes and just do a little bit of a break and an intermission. So if you have to run to the washroom or top up a coffee or a glass of water or something like that, please take advantage of this 2-minute intermission, and we'll meet everybody back here. It's 1:59 now, so we'll meet everybody back here at 2:01. just going to keep the intermission going a little bit longer here, so no rush. We'll be back again in just a moment. All right. Welcome back, everybody. So I'm just I'm going to hop in here for a second and go ahead and introduce the next presenter. And I believe our next team is Team Working It.
We've got our camera working, our mics working, and now we're just going to try to screen share here.
Perfect.
Okay. Good afternoon. We are working at Immigration Solutions and we build legal tech. My name is Gianna Corcoran. I own an immigration firm and I'm frustrated with the archaic paper-based processes that plague our industry. This is my co-founder, Mary Corcoran, who has 35 years of developing work experience programs for students with barriers to entering the labor market. This is Behnam Farhadi. He is a software developer, entrepreneur, and completing his master's in computer science at Memorial. We have developed the simplest solution that can be immediately implemented to access thousands of employees. We all know that access to talent is the most critical factor in companies' growth, especially in high-tech roles. On Friday, when we were given the challenge statement, we thought about all of the people that are currently living in Newfoundland and Labrador and thought about some of the barriers they may be facing, which makes it challenging for employers to access them. Through our conversation, it came up that international students like Behnam are able to work 20 hours a week, but in order to be able to obtain the permanent residence and ultimately become citizens, they need to work for a designated employer. So instead of using his high-tech skills to help a growing tech company, Behnam is working in a survival job at Sobeys because it's a designated employer with a designated occupation code. There are over 300 international students like Behnam and 4,000 international students annually at our post-secondary institutions. Currently in Newfoundland, there are only 24 designated employers out of nearly 20,000 businesses. Companies are unaware of this process. Government websites are designed for legal practitioners. The process seems daunting and people don't know where to begin. This is where we come in. We've developed a simple app that will allow employers to determine if they are eligible to become designated to hire international students and graduates. Here's what the eligibility requirements look like before. The application form has also been developed into a web-based application, which will reduce repetition of information. The information entered is integrated into drop-down forms, which make the application ready for the practitioner to review, accelerating the speed and ease of service. Once we receive the user application, we'll file the application on behalf of the company. We would charge $250 for an application. There are nearly 20,000 employers in Newfoundland, which would be a potential revenue of $5 million for this program alone. Since this immigration program covers all of the Atlantic provinces, we have the opportunity to grow regionally. It is ready to be immediately deployed and will help students like Benham, practitioners like me, and employers like all of you get more talent into the roles they need. Our ask from you today is if you are not designated, that you go through our app to determine if you are eligible, and we'll guide you through the process so we can get students like Benham working relevant industry roles. Thank you.
All right, great, thank you. So we will turn it over to the judges here now and open it up for any questions.
I'm just wondering, how does the, this Doug from Genesis, sorry. So a person that was looking for the job, they would go on your site and they would put in their information, or do you guys go to then take that to companies, or?
So for example, you as an employer, if you need to hire people and you're interviewing someone and you may not be aware of this, they can introduce this to you, international students. For me, this is just a service, expedited service that we would offer in terms of our immigration services.
Are there any other questions from the judges?
So I guess your value proposition is that it speeds up the process for the immigration, I guess, process to eliminate a lot of the red tape involved in getting the proper permits and their licenses in place. How would it help the employer is what I'm trying to get at.
Oh, okay. So there seems to be some confusion. This is designed for the employer to apply to get the designation they require. So right now in Newfoundland, you can't hire. That's the problem, is that employers aren't able to hire the skilled workers that are already here. So there's 4,000 people already here, but because of the legal requirements on them as international students, they don't get credit for this work that will help them towards their permanent residency. Does that make sense? I know it's complicated, like legal stuff, but it's just sort of a quick fix that we came up with in our team.
Yeah. Why aren't more Dan from TechNL? Why aren't more employers already taking advantage of this? And also love the fact you're trying to solve an immigration. It's a massive issue here in the province. I'm just wondering why more employers don't know about this.
I don't know. I honestly didn't know about it until we met with Benham on Friday, and I'm an immigration practitioner, and I didn't know that there was this one little disconnect that employers need to have a designation and be listed on this in order to hire students under the Atlantic Immigration Program. So I think it's just a knowledge gap right now that exists. And we wouldn't have known, except for Benham told me he had to go to work at Sobeys the next day. And I was like, why are you working at Sobeys when you're a software developer and there's so much demand here? And so then we got into that conversation.
And so is this solutions for immigrants, sorry, let me try that again, international students only, or is it for folks that are still trying to come to the province, for example?
So our services are bigger that we offer as an immigration tech firm. So this is just one solution that we came up with for today. This is specifically for international students that are here or international graduates that need to work for a designated employer in order to get permanent residency. So there's certain requirements on them to become a permanent resident and then ultimately get their citizenship.
It also gives the company 4,000 people a year who they can choose from to hire. So there won't be an extra shortage of employees, what you're saying.
Yeah,
I mean, you're getting 4,000 international students each year in the province.
So that was, so that's sort of where it comes from. We thought that there was a need to bring in more people, but then when we look, there's already all these people that are here that already are developers that came in under the international student stream because that was the only way they were eligible. So now they're working and going to school, but they could be working in tech firms rather than in survival jobs.
Wow. Any other questions, judges? Thank you so much. That's fascinating. And congratulations for finding that little gap in the system. So our next team is the Mainlanders.
Hello, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, right. And you can't see us, can you?
You can see the presentation. Yep.
Well, shall I start video? Okay, perfect.
Good to go. Is there like a start? I'm Will.
And I'm Matt.
And we're the Mainlanders.
I have a question for you. Are you happy with your online presence? How would you go about improving it? Do you even have an online presence? Now, last month, I was talking with a local business owner. They're currently on Facebook, have customers, and are looking to expand their business to the next step. And they asked me, do you know anyone who could build me a website? I immediately began thinking, well, what type of website would they want? Do they want an online store, handle payment and shipping? Will it just be a clone of their Facebook with contact information and pictures? Do they even need a website right now? I told them I would ask around for them. Those thoughts stayed with me. Where would you go for information? Or where would you go to find information about these things? There are guides online, but most of them are either paid promotion or out of date. There are paid courses, but how do you know if the content is right for you? Or is it a waste of time and money?
We thought about this. What would you need to implement to solve this web literacy gap? We want to help local businesses get online, on social media as well, help understand the web analytics that are available to them, and help connect businesses with local tech professionals to ensure they're getting a fair product for a fair price. We also want to help small businesses understand their network and digital assets to prevent a breach, or in the event, what to do when a hack happens. So how would you go about implementing these solutions?
Well, first we would connect with local tech professionals to produce various classes that are centered around improving web literacy. Second, produce a web and app platform so businesses can access these classes to increase their web proficiency. Third, update the curriculum regularly to keep businesses up to date with new industry trends, marketing practices, and malware vulnerabilities. Our solution, get online.
Let me walk you through our platform. So you're greeted at first with your online profile page. From there, you can navigate to available classes, pick your preferred viewing method, select the date and time that works best for you. And once you've completed your class or module, you can navigate to the certificates, print, share with LinkedIn.
Now let's have a look at our business model canvas. Our value proposition provides web literacy, digital security, and consumer protection education. Our customer segments include startups, businesses with little to no digital presence, and small businesses which have begun to increase their digital assets. Our revenue streams come from providing access to online courses, consultation, and live workshops. Our cost structure includes paying mentors and contractors for content creation, marketing, and employees. Our key partners are local tech companies, cybersecurity information providers, and the MUN Commons. So Will, what do we need to move forward?
Well, Get Online needs partnerships with local technology and web professionals to produce the curriculum that will be directly beneficial to the local businesses. Get Online also needs needs capital to pay for these partners.
That's time.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Matthew and Will. We'll have some questions from the judges now.
Yes, Jeremy from the City of Mount Pearl. There's a lot of services and courses out there already existing. What differentiates you guys from the current services that are offered?
Well, absolutely. Our business would be focused solely on improving web literacy. So if you were to say, go to Coursera, there's lots of programs available on Coursera, teaching you how to build a website, teaching you business practices. But there's no way for you to get the feedback to know what courses you truly need to take. Is it worth spending that $450 on a 300 or 1,000 hour course that teaches you business from zero to IPO, let's say, where our company would have a built-in kind of auto checker on the website where you can go through at this and select the stages of business that you're at, and it would recommend you what courses you need to take, or recommend you courses to take to bring you to that next level of either web literacy or whether or not you should be investing in social media or investing in a website, things like that.
Hi, it's Dan from TechNL. Great presentation. I like how you played off one another. That was fun. The how do you incentivize your the tech professionals that you're looking at to providing these services?
Oh, sound. You're muted. Somehow you got muted. See if I can unmute you.
Are we good?
There you go.
Yeah. So great question. One thing, I mean, like we're both computer science students at MUN, and one big thing when it comes to taking on these side projects or side like helping people out is a big part of it is that the customer coming with not a full understanding of what they're looking for, which then spends time and resources in going through and working with them to whittle it down to what they actually want. And the advantages with the training is it's worked in a way that the businesses are better educated in what they're looking for to skip that initial hurdle to allow for the professional to step in and more accurately work with them.
And if I could just add an anecdotal comment to that. I have a friend who's currently working in industry right now locally, and they ran into a problem where their coworker had very little security knowledge. They were writing code. They were writing code that eventually go to production that was riddled with vulnerabilities, and they didn't understand why those vulnerabilities were bad. And my friend ended up putting together a little presentation for his company to explain why these vulnerabilities exist and how to prevent them from happening, just to prevent these vulnerabilities going to production. So I believe there are professionals in this industry that would like to have the opportunity to put together a course on something that really matters to them, be it security, be it web development. And we would be that platform that allows them to put together a class, and we would present it so they don't have to worry about getting an audience for it. All they have to do is focus on their content, and we would bring it to the masses.
So you guys would pay these developers for the courses that they developed?
Yes, that's right. We would pay them for their time and for their
content.
For their content, yes.
I got you.
Okay, I think that's good, Matthew and Will. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Good work.
Thank you.
And we'll move right along to business medics.
Can everyone see and hear me okay?
Yes.
Perfect. Alrighty. Hello, my name is Nathan Carter and I'm presenting on behalf of the Business Medics. As proud Newfoundlanders, we know that the tourism industry is a unique and vital component of our economy. We also recognize how essential local businesses are to our province. Since 2020, we've witnessed many business owners struggle to make ends meet during the COVID-19 pandemic. Our solution to this issue is the BusyPin mobile app. Our app will gamify the tourism and rewards industry right here at home. BusyPin is an interactive platform where users can complete objectives and gain points to redeem special offers at local businesses. The leaderboard feature will create incentive and competition amongst users to generate traffic for local businesses. The main issues we're solving for businesses are related to loss of revenue due to the pandemic. We offer a convenient platform for small businesses to run special promotion campaigns and reward loyalty. The app also hosts localized, non-invasive advertisements that stimulate in-person traffic with its interactive features. BusyPin will help businesses adapt to changing markets by bringing them online in a new way and giving access to a new advertising method. However, it takes two to tango. This app also provides value to customers. People that want to save money, or in other words, all of us, can redeem points that they've gathered to get discounts and gain access to exclusive offers for local businesses. The app incentivizes exploration for tourists and helps them find hidden gems within the community. These days, there are a lot of conscious shoppers that want to buy local, but how can they do so if they don't know about these businesses? BusyPin gives these shoppers the tools they need to shop local and business owners the tools they need to thrive. And now for a quick demonstration video. Upon opening the app, you are greeted with our interactive map. On this screen, you can view participating businesses in your area. The icons scale and change size to show trending businesses and premium reward opportunities. You can click the icons to bring up business info and ongoing promotions, which is demonstrated by two sample businesses to showcase basic functionality. Businesses also have the opportunity to broadcast ads on the front page on the banner below. Clicking on the big center button brings up your personalized QR code for quick and easy redemption of your points. You can easily switch tabs to see leaderboard info for local users or friends that you've added within the app. The next tab shows your favorite businesses. Business owners can use this tab to manage their business public profile and subscriptions. And the final tab we have implemented is the profile tab. Here, you can manage your points, check your offers, change your profile, and adjust the map radius slider. As a group of 5 engineering students, we are skilled in the areas of system design and software development. It's in our training to be able to implement designs effectively. We would benefit from help in marketing and business planning, and so our ask is for connections that have these skills. Thank you for your time. We are now ready to take any questions.
Thank you, Nathan. And we'll hear from the judges.
Hey, just wondering about the leaderboard. What exactly? So basically, depending on more of the people went out, more they'd get more points, or is there certain restaurants that you need to go to in order to get access to points at another restaurant, or?
Yeah, so that plays into the gamification idea of our app, where we have systems in place where the leaderboard will function sort of like a streak system we can add. So if you visit the same place over and over again, or you are continually supporting local businesses, you accumulate more points. Furthermore, we can implement features where if you share the business with friends on the app, or like businesses, or are just consistent on the app and supporting the local businesses, that can also increase on the leaderboard.
Gotcha.
Any other questions, judges?
Yeah, Jeremy here from the city. You probably are going to have a lot of competitors in this field. So I know you talked about some incentivization for some of the businesses in terms of having their profile and being able to advertise deals on the page. Is there anything else you're doing that will incentivize businesses to become a part of this?
Yeah, so we believe that our app can serve as a positive feedback loop for advertising that supports both the business and the customers. We don't want to think of our app as an advertisement that sort of gets in the way of your day like a lot of advertisements do. Like if you're watching a video and an advertisement pops up, you're usually not that enthralled by it, but we want the exact opposite. So the draw for this, to create this feedback loop, we can present businesses that agree to participate with a poster or a QR code advertising the business. And in a bustling downtown environment, similar to downtown St. John's, people are going to be walking by, they're going to inquire what's going on, what's new about this. And we've also pondered advertising this within staycation groups, for example, in Newfoundland that are popular amongst tourists, especially in this COVID-19, post-COVID-19 pandemic era that we are in. And we think that that will draw even more attention and incentive for businesses to participate.
Did you guys comment on the revenue generation for this?
I can take this one. For our revenue generation, BusyPen will generate revenue through tiered subscriptions for business owners. We have a basic tier for basic services. We have an advanced tier for increased visibility, and then top tier for access to relevant user data to level the playing field with larger firms that have a wealth of user data. Pricing or renewal of this subscription will be determined after more market research is done. Businesses can also buy extra points for custom campaigns.
Okay, judges, did you have another question, Doug, or?
Nope, sorry.
Okay, thank you so much, Nathan and Business Medics. Great presentation. And we'll now move on to Team 42. Okay.
All right. I don't know if my group mates are here, but I'm going to address the elephant in the room. Great minds think alike. Is what I will definitely say before we get started. I'm just wondering if my teammates are here. Oh, yep. Sam is here.
All right. Okay. Yeah, let's start. So hello, everyone. We're part-timers. We're basically very similar, again, to a pitch that was said earlier, but with a twist, obviously. So can you please go next slide? So our challenge that we're thinking about is how can we get more access to labor for more entry-level on-demand jobs? We looked at it from the two perspectives. First, business owners. We have realized that they suffer from ghosting, rush hours, and also employees calling in sick. Also looking at the job seekers that are currently there, we have discovered that they're looking for extra income, flexibility, and also actually controlling their schedule. So speaking of which, let's meet John. So John is a university student that is, really struggling with school, but at the same time, he's a part-time bartender. So this is really a big pain point because he can't schedule his hours bartending and at the same time manage school. Also, let's look at another example. Diana. So she's a manager at Starbucks, and on her day off, she just receives a call that one of the employees that are scheduled for today, they have called in sick. So now she needs to figure out who to cover for this shift, right? So she has to get the phone, call everyone, but unfortunately, no other employees are able to come in and cover. So is she supposed to go in and cover the shift herself? That's a big issue, right? So going on, let's meet part-timers. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, let's meet part-timers, which is where you have shift owners and shift wanters meeting up on a platform. So you go into a shift, you can basically, from a job poster's perspective, you can start with the role. You can add in which day you would like that person to come in. You can also add in when it is that they're supposed to be showing up. You can post both externally as well as internally. And internally, it doesn't actually charge you anything because you're using your own labor. On the flip side, if you want to do shifts, you put in your name, you set up your role, this kind of sorts through things for you. And then you can vet yourself through your driver's license. And then you can look through internal. So let's say that I'm working for Curry Delight here, as well as external postings. So then I can accept different shifts outside of the realm of my current job. So our next steps here are really to focus on maybe a little bit more like the rating systems for vetting of those employees to make sure that the people that you're coming in to work for or work with are actually, decent people, as well as variable shift rates for those hot times and commodities, as well as internal team vetting. We also are looking to do some user validation, iterate, and then also proliferate from Mount Pearl to the rest of the world. We did a bunch of background research on our business model, so I'm happy to answer any questions there. And then this is our team.
Great. Okay, guys. Thank you, Brandon and Hossam. And we'll have some questions from the judges.
I think they're writing notes.
Yeah.
So the rating system. So is it the employees rate the employer, or is it vice versa, or is it both?
It's both. So the whole idea there is both people are vetting each other. So you, from an employer standpoint, you would be able to see the people that are coming in from outside. Is this actually a good server? Who have they worked for before? And what kind of shifts have they had? What kind of feedback? And vice versa from the employer standpoint. Because there are some employers out there that could probably, use some of that feedback to figure things out.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
But also to add a small thing is that we're already going to be doing vetting for the job seekers on our platform. So background check, all sorts of these rudimentary checks with the driver's license, well, just to make sure there's like risk-free or as much as little risk as possible from the employer's side.
No, that's a good idea.
Any other questions for Team 42?
Do you want to walk us through the costing structure as well for the employer and employee?
Yeah, so the costing structure would basically be set as a base rate set for that particular role itself. And then there would be an additional pricing set up in terms of basically like whether or not it's variable rush hour. So Fridays are very hot times for getting people into work. You should probably incentivize them a little bit more for that. So you would be paying a little bit more for those hours. Whereas like a Tuesday at 10 o'clock in the morning, less people are looking for it. So rates probably go down. In terms of pricing, we would take a 2% cut on top of the piece. But when it comes to the internal piece, it's more of like a growth hacking opportunity for us. It would be completely free for employers to use this internally to manage and talk to their team until eventually we figure out whether or not that's the stronger business model, at which point we would do a subscription model.
Great. Any other questions, judges? Thank you so much, Brandon and Hossam. Great job.
Thank you.
Great ideas coming out of this today. It's fantastic. And our next team, I don't know if I should call them DAC or DAC, but they can certainly correct me on that.
Yeah, both works. Both works.
Okay. Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, so can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
You sure can.
Perfect. All right. So I'm Junaid. I'm representing Team DAC today. And our goal this weekend was to, instead of papering over cracks, we focused on a long-term plan. Now, due to the pandemic, there's been a shortage of labor, specifically in terms of skilled workers, that leads to increase in unemployment and hampers business operations, which in turn reduces their day-to-day revenue. I'm in my last year of my university education, and I faced a lot of confusion while determining a career path corresponding to my field of study. University provides general knowledge about a subject, but rarely teaches us the specific path we need to follow to reach our career goals. Moreover, many people cannot afford universities and therefore are at a bigger disadvantage. That is where mentoring comes into play. Our app will include mentors, working professionals who have experience in their respective fields and have paved their own path towards a successful career. Users will be able to hear from them as they share their stories, and in particular, create a roadmap for anyone willing to follow their path. They can suggest specific education or training required to fulfill their desired positions. The training can then be provided from within the app, or we can partner with firms like Get Coding, Memorial University, or Academy Canada. The app itself will include a questionnaire that the user has to fill out, which will determine what their passions are, what field of work they want to follow. And depending on that, it will suggest mentors with whom they can book a session with. It could be a live mass video session, or it could be one-on-one chat, depending on the availability of the mentor. The app also focuses on soft skills, which is a requirement, but an underrated skill in the industry. So it provides training for those as well. In terms of its competitive advantages, it is incredibly convenient. It is a one-stop place for absolutely everything. And unlike other mentoring solutions, our app not only provides inspiration to students, but provides a roadmap as well, which entices them to take actions, which generally leads to success. Since our target audience is high school students, the unicorn model would be to partner with education districts in terms of how to generate our revenue, and schools, so that usage of this app becomes a necessary tool in paving the careers of students. The long-term goal would be to include this program as part of the local high school curriculum. Partnering with companies who require a specific skill set for which training is provided through our app is another source of revenue, since the companies will potentially get a steady stream of trained individuals from within the platform. Lastly, some mentors might suggest a roadmap that requires a degree, diploma, or certificate. So partnering with universities and colleges and promoting the education they provide is another source. The biggest problem faced during during planning your own career is finding a roadmap to follow. I mean, we all want to achieve success, but finding how to do it is a huge problem. I couldn't find anything online. Any app remotely doesn't provide anything similar to this service, where there is, I might follow or might not follow the path, but to be able to get the information is a huge problem in our society, especially in St. John's and Mount Pearl.
That's time.
Yeah. Open to any questions.
Thank you, Junaid. So we will we'll bring the judges up now for questions.
So I have a question about if there's anything, because I've never heard of anything like this targeted to high school students specifically. Do you have any idea of what the current competition would be for a platform like this?
I have honestly tried to do a lot of research over the past week, and we've seen firms like Big Brothers Big Sisters, where they do try to provide a mentor, but there isn't anything specific to what career path they want to follow. TechNL tries to. I work for Zorbis Math Adventure, and we are going to have a panel with TechNL, who they're going to go to high school students, and they're going to influence them. There's a line for tech, but there isn't any for somebody who wants to do a managerial position, or somebody who just wants to work at Tim Hortons, so to say. So there's no roadmap, no career path to follow. And this is one of the biggest problems I personally have faced. I haven't had any template to follow at all. There's absolutely no concrete help online. So I think due to attrition, a lot of the higher positions will get vacated. That's the projected amount. The people below that will get promoted, and it will continue on until the entry-level positions are empty. And that's where we need skilled training and proper skill set that needs to be taught for them to be able to fill those positions right away.
Yeah, thanks. I think there's Dan from TechNL. Yeah, there's not really anything that links mentors up with students right now. The only folks I mentor are people I've met through happenstance. How do you? I saw your application and how you get students on board. How do you? Where do you find your mentors, and how do you bring them into the application?
Okay, so the idea is to in terms of the mentors, I think that will be initially in the starting stages of this application. That would be the biggest thing that we have to make sure that we have people who are successful. So due to many reasons, I think great out of the goodness of everyone's heart, a lot of people do want to mentor over the weekend. Just like in this particular competition, a lot of people have mentored. We've learned valuable information from them. So initially, I think that would be the goal, to invite mentors if they're willing to come in to provide sessions and one-on-one sessions as well. That would be the initial goal. If we can get a partnering program with a school or a district, we would hire mentors to regularly be a source of inspiration for students. In terms of the students, we are kind of following what Zorbit's Math Adventure follows in terms of how they approach districts and try to incorporate math and game in their curriculum. The idea would be that I believe at the end of every high school, there's a mandatory entrepreneurship program. So it'd be kind of similar to that, where they would have a mentoring program which will help them determine which path they want to choose. I've personally, when I first came here as an international student, I've worked at Tim Hortons, and it's filled with high school students. And even though it's a great job, it's an amazing place to work, there are people who, if provided the option, the resources and the guidelines, they would want to do something different, something managerial position, or even coding. There could be many things. So I think that is where this app comes into play.
As the parent of a 13-year-old boy who has no idea what he wants to do yet, I hope this is in operation by the time he hits high school.
That's the plan. I mean, it's not a super short-term plan, but it's something that we really believe in. And we personally, all of us, all 4 pictures on the screen have faced these problems ourselves. And it is something that is not available here in Mount Pearl, St. John's, Canada. Might be, I think something like this is available in France, but it's not accessible here.
Wow. Any other questions, judges? Thank you, Junaid, Fatima, Rabani, and Mohammed for this presentation. Thank you to all our teams. That was the number 11 team. I certainly don't envy the judges having to hold all that information in their heads and pick and choose what's best, because they were all pretty fascinating presentations. So thank you all to all the teams who took part and who showed such innovation and ingenuity to come and be a part of the hackathon. So now we're going to give our judges some time to deliberate, so we can all hang tight. It'll be anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes, so stay tuned. At this time, I would like to thank a bunch of people who have helped to make this weekend hackathon happen. We have members of council for Mount Pearl, Mayor Dave Aker, Deputy Mayor Nicole Kiley, Councillor Bill Antle, Councillor Chelsea Lane, Councillor Jim Locke, Councillor Isabel Fry, and Councillor Mark Rice. Thank you so much for being such a cool council and helping to get this hackathon off the ground. Thank you so much, Adam Keating, the co-founder and CEO of CoLab. He was our keynote speaker, very inspiring talk that Adam told us about his getting into his own company. That was so interesting. Amy Henderson was here yesterday morning from Business and the Arts NL to have a creative kickoff to the day. That was fantastic. Thank you to our judges, Dan Brake from Tech NL, Jeremy Schwartz, the City of Mount Pearl, Doug Kennedy from Genesis, and June Tavener, Mount Pearl Paradise Chamber of Commerce. Our mentors, thank you so much for being there for our teams. We had Carla Hayward from Tech NL, Aidan Moores from Genesis, Florian Villome, Memorial Center for Entrepreneurship, Jane Hall, Target, Liam Flanagan from Tech NL, Maggie Kourish from Genesis, Tim Carew from Target, Chandra Kavanagh from Bounce Health Innovation, David Halliday from Total IQ, and Stu Greenoff, Rogue Penguin. Our sponsors and partners, contributors who we couldn't do this event without. Thank you, Genesis, Bounce Health Innovation, TechNL, Memorial University Center for Entrepreneurship, CoLab Software, Total IQ, Rogue Penguin Creative, Target, the Mount Pearl Paradise Chamber of Commerce, and Business and the Arts NL. And of course, our wonderful organizing staff, Joshua Jameson, our Marketing and Communications Officer, Jeremy Schwartz, Economic Development Officer, Brandon Mullins, Marketing Coordinator, and Jenny Hillier, Commerce Work Term Student. So those are all the people who made this happen this week, besides our teams, of course. So we're going to take about a 15 to 20-minute break now, I would assume. And we'll see you, just keep tuned. So when our judges come back, you're here.
All right, well, let's get everybody back to your computers and your phones. I think we're almost ready here.
Can you hear me, Joshua?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, I don't know why my video won't start, but that's okay with me. Start my video. How's that?
There you are.
Here I am. Okay.
Glowing as always.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So the results are in. I'm jittery inside, let me tell you. Okay, so now what we'd like to do is ask all the participants to turn off their cameras. And when we call the awards, we'd like to show the winning teams on screen. So if you'd like then, if you're one of the winning teams, please turn your camera on so we can see ya. Blushing. Okay, and my first order of business is to call upon Judge June Taverner to announce a third place award. June?
All right, thanks. I thought I was going second, but okay. So the third place team is the team that, although there were other similar ideas presented by different teams, this team really has a good grasp on the potential applicability, some really great revenue generation ideas, and are sort of off to a really great start. And that team is the Part-Timers. Congratulations.
Woo. Woo. So, do we see the Part-Timers? Can you turn your camera on?
Over here.
Here we are. Wow. Congratulations, guys. Great
Thank
work.
you very much.
Yes,
Thank you
indeed.
very much.
That was a weekend well spent. Okay, so our second judge, I have notes on every device here today. Okay, so our second judge is, sorry, I am going to get it.
Doug Kennedy from Genesis.
Kennedy from Genesis. Thank you, Doug. Sorry, Doug, about that. If
No problem.
We can call upon you to announce the second team, the second place team.
So for the second place team, it really stood out to us. There was definitely a differentiation. They brought up in their presentation right away about the differentiation, and there's not really anything else out there like it. They really seem like they have a passion for it. And to me, it would be a very nice way for kids to get mentoring outside of social media. So I think deservedly so, the second place team would be DAC, Find My Way.
Woohoo! DAC, can you turn your cameras on? Oh, that's so exciting.
Thank you so much to all the mentors and judges. It's a huge, huge honor. Thank you so much for this weekend. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity to present our ideas.
Yes, fantastic. Fantastic work.
Thank you so much.
And now for our first place winners, we'd like to call upon Deputy Mayor Nicole Kiley and Councillor Jim Locke to announce the first place winner. The grand prize goes to.
Hi, folks, and I'm very happy to be here with my colleague, Councillor Jim Locke, as well as our other council who are really excited to hear the announcement. So, Jim, would you like me to just say a few points? Do you want to give the drum roll and offer the name?
Why don't I read the lead up and you announce the winner?
Okay. Oh, I get to. All right. Fantastic. All right.
You announce the winner. All right. Amy, first of all, I want to thank you for hosting this weekend. You did a great job. And to all the teams, I mean, I just learned so much here today, just tuning into your pitches. You're all to be commended. And of course, as Amy mentioned, our mentors, our judges, of course, the team at the City of Mount Pearl, just another super successful hackathon. And I'm always inspired to see the great ideas that come up here. So without any further ado, let me just go through some of the notes that the judges considered when coming up with the decision. And then I'll let our Deputy Mayor Kiley announce the winner of this year's hackathon. The winning team solved the challenge in the area of access to labor This team really understood the challenge statement and provided a clear, concise, and a feasible product. The design was innovative, user-friendly, and has the ability to be scalable on a local and a global level. The product has a sustainable and viable life cycle and has the potential to have a major impact. Their presentation was very well organized, inspiring, and quite memorable. And I will now turn it over to Deputy Mayor Nicole Kiley to announce this year's hackathon winner.
Thank you, Councillor Locke, and incredibly well put with regards to the efforts from this team and our shared sentiments of how grateful. This is my first hackathon to participate in, and this has just been an incredible experience. So without further ado, congratulations to HexDump with their product Shift, which is incredible. Yes, give them a round of applause. Woo! And that's the team who is our 2022 Hacking Mount Pearl winners. So immense work. Yes, absolutely. So I would love to hear and see perhaps the team there. And it's my honor and pleasure to congratulate you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Mohammed Haytham.
Also an honor to receive this, and thank you for the organizers. Thanks for the people that put this thing together. We really enjoyed it, and basically brings out the best out of people. The ideas are amazing, and thank you everybody that presented. Just great ideas all around. Thank you guys.
Yeah, Hazem said it all. So thank you, everyone.
Woohoo! How exciting. Oh my gosh, how fantastic. Okay, wow, that was amazing weekend. And, you know, I do believe we've all learned a lot. And I'm sure even the participants have learned a lot from each other. What a great opportunity to bring such beaming, bright minds together. Thank you to the City of Mount Pearl. And congratulations to all the participants who put forth some incredible ideas this weekend. We encourage you all to keep moving forward with your projects and always start new ones. Again, thank you all for coming out, and thanks to our organizing committee, our judges, our mentors, our sponsors. Have a great day, everybody. Happy hacking.
Thanks, Amy. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, everybody, on a job well done. Cheers.